Okay. The book of the words of Tobit from the. Could that be tablet? Tobal. Tobiel. Just like Daniel. You see how I-E-L. To, to, Tobiel. Tobiel. The son of Ananel. Ananel. It's kind of like Nathaniel, right? But it's Ananeel. The son of Aduel, the son of Gabel, of the third of Azel, and of the tribe of Nephthalim, who in the time of an emissar, king of the Assyrians, was led away captive out of this be which is at the right hand of the city, and there's a W with a C over it, is called properly Nephthalim in Galilee, no, Galilee. About, hi Pedro, I'm trying something new today. About Ezer. Okay, so above Ezer. So this is the Genevan Bible of 1560, and it's the book of Tobit. Tobit. You see right there, verse 3. It says, I, Tobit, have walked all my life long in the way of truth and I don't know that word. Sacrifice, maybe? And I did many things liberally to the brethren, and then there's that CW, where of my nation, and came with me to Nineveh. It could be like Nineveh, Nineveh, into the land of the Assyrians. That those F's are S's, and the Y's are I's. And when I was in mine own country, in the land of Israel, being but young, all the tribes of Nephthalim. You see there? That's Nephthalim. Maybe that's Nephilims. You know what? Nephilims. My father fell from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should sacrifice there, where the temple of the tabernacles of the Most High was consecrated and built up for all ages. Now all the tribes which fell from God, yea, and my father Nephthalim's house of that you would think that was freedom, but it's usually an S. Is this a Jamaican? No, this is the Geneva Geneva 1560. Okay, so Nephthalim's house offered or us served us I don't know, it's offered or ushered to the heifer called Baal. Ooh, you see that? They were offering heifers to something to an idol that was a cow. Maybe, because that could be Hasar called Baal. You see that? Verse 6. But I, as it was ordained to all Israel by an everlasting decree, were alone often, or no, us, no, it'd be often, to Jerusalem, bringing the the first fruits and the 10th of it looks like a BEA and then that F that means a S of the beast. Okay, a 10th of the beasts, it means of the cattle, right? With that which was first born. So it says that weird shape and then an H is B. You see that? And offered them at the altar to the priests and children of Aaron. Is it two? The altar to the priests. It means they brought it to them to do the offering, I'm sure. But when it says Baal, that's terrible. Okay. The first 10th parte. The first part I gave to the priest of the sons of Aaron, which ministered in Jerusalem, and the other 10th part I sold. It'd be SOLD. And then there's a CA. Oh, carried. And bestowed to every year. Oh, bestowed it every year at Jerusalem, and bestowed it every year. Oh, I read it again. Verse 8. The third 10th part I gave unto them to whom it was meet at Deborah, my father's mother had commanded me. I said he's not obeying the word of God. He's command is Deborah, his father's mother, commanded me, for my father left me as a pupil. So that's idol worship, going to Baal. Verse 9. Furthermore, when I was come to the age of a male, or MA, of a man, maybe, I married Anna of there's a star, and then mine own kindred, and of her I beget Tobias. But when I was led captive to Nineveh, that might probably is Nineveh, all my brethren and those, and then there's that with sign, that shorthand of W with a C over it. That's like a nursing sign, okay? Shorthand for nursing sign. With. Where of my kindred did it looks like eat of the bread of Gentiles. And then there's a letter H, little h, H, I. Whew, my goodness. Halfway done. I'm trying to see. I think those are notes at the top. And then verse 23 is where we pick up. But maybe not. Let's see. But I kept myself from eating because I remembered God, and with all mine heart. Therefore the Most, High, gave me, 'cause, 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 ' grace and favor before emissary. It's probably like emissary. And then sir, to no, so that I was his pure, it's like sojourner, but pure vow, thou, your pure vower. I don't know what that would be. Anybody know? You never heard of this? Okay, well, let me show you real quick, and we'll pop back. Okay, everybody's heard of the Geneva Bible. It was the first English Bible ever printed. Everybody knows about Geneva Bible. They killed the man named Geneva who printed the first English Bible in the colonies. He was in the colonies and they killed him. They offed him for this word. Okay? And of course, this is how the English spoke, with that little bit of lisp. With a little bit of luck. With a little bit of luck. Right? So, it's not our fault. It was English. This was the King's English at one time. So, it's like sojourner. If you take that P off, you got journeyer. His journeyer. If you take that P off and try to make a word of it. Okay, going on to verse 14. And I went into Media, and I delivered 10 talents of silver to Gabriel, Gabriel, the brother of Gabrias, in the land of Media. But when emissar was dead, Sennacherib, so he couldn't get back to the temple to do his vows, so he was paying a tithe to the closest thing he could find, I guess. His son reigned in his stead, whose state, because it was troubled, I could not go into Media. But in the time of emissary, I gave many alms to my brethren. So, in other words, since he couldn't keep the appointed times of the tabernacles, he would give alms to the poor, right, among his brethren, and gave my bread to them which were hungry, and my clothes to the naked. And if I saw any of my kindred or cast about the whales of Nineveh, like Nineveh, right? I buried them. So, in other words, if they died, cast means died, I guess. He would bury them. And if the king Sennacherib had slain any when he was come and fled from Judah, I buried the privily. Oh, he buried them privily, means privately. For in his wrath he killed many, but the bodies were not sound or found when they were sought for of the king. So they would the children of Israel would always bury their own, right? Even though they were in captivity, probably Nineveh, how we would spell it. Verse 19. Therefore when a centurion of Ninuite had accused me to the king because I did bury them, I hid myself, and because I knew that I was sought to be slain, I withdrew myself for fear. Then all my goods were spoiled. Spoiled means stolen. Neither was there anything left of my that neither was there anything left beside my wife Anna and my son Tobias. So they stole everything but his wife and son. Nevertheless, within 50 days, it's 55 days, 2 of his sons killed him. What? And they fled into the mountain of Ararat or Ararat. And then there's a symbol. Looks like a ER. Sargedonis. Sargedonis. Nicodemus? No. His son, Sargedonis, his son, reigned. Okay, so this is about the king. So God caused the king to be slain by 2 of his sons. And then another son became the ruler in his stead, who appointed over his father's quotas and over all his domestical affairs. Acacius. So this time it doesn't have the S in front of it. It says Acacius, but that's probably my brother Ananias' son. So Tibet, Tib, Tibet was given, one of the family members was put in a high position. Verse 12, no, 21, I'm sorry, 21, 22. And when Achaearchus had made a request for me, I came again to Nineveh, probably Nineveh. Now Achaearchus was cupbearer and keeper of the singer and steward and overseer, or oversaw the accounts, accomptus. So Sarchedonus appointed him next unto him, and he was my brother's son. And that's the end of chapter 1. God bless y'all, and this was very interesting, a good opener for Tobit. See, Tobit. Tobit. God bless.